on the campus of Southern Utah University. Bryson Lester and Madison Loomis alongside you. We are ready to go here. Southern Utah to vault first, and the Air Force Falcons will be on bars. Madison, let's take a look at the lineup. We broke it down a little bit in the pre-meet show, but let's talk about it again here. Molly Jaws-Wachowski, Steph Trevort, Morgan Alfaro, Carly McLean, Rachel Smith, Caitlin Coe. So let's start with Molly. Obviously, a veteran here now for the Flippin' Birds, and you probably couldn't ask for a better gymnast to start things off for you on a night-to-night basis than Molly.
Molly is just steady Eddie. She does a cause vault, which is unique. A lot of girls do that round up back handspring entry known as a Yurchenko, but Molly likes to do that round off entry, and she knows her landing. She knows where her feet are, so she's great to get that lineup going. Stephanie Trevor is a powerhouse. She just really flares her Yurchenko full and finds her feet well. Morgan Alfaro, their 2021 team captain. This is the event that she does. She's always been amazing. Me and Morgan grew up together, so she's a vaulter, that's for sure. Carly McLean is in the all-around tonight, so starting off her 1 out of the 4 with a Yurchenko full. You got Rachel Smith with a full-on tuck is what she competed last weekend. She's capable of piking it, but she is going to tuck it tonight, I'm pretty sure. And Caitlin Cole with the Yurchenko full. So it's going to be really good for the Thunderbirds.
Then for Air Force up on bars, it'll be Ainsley Prince, Heidi Sand, Grace Bardez, Tyler Davis, Lauren Miller, and Cam Barber. And we will have Heidi Sand in the all-around tonight for the Falcons, as is planned right now. So 4-minute touch warm-ups have begun here. 4 minutes until we are officially underway. Let's take a quick break here to tell you about Mountain Eye Institute. The Mountain Eye Institute is a private event center just about 2.5 minutes from getting underway here. First rotation brought to you by Mountain Eye Institute. Visit Mountain Eye Institute for your next eye exam. Madison, take me into the mindset of a gymnast right now in the 4-minute touch. What are you thinking about? What are you focusing on? And what are you not trying to get in your head about?
So the goal is to not think about what you're not supposed to do. The goal is to just stay calm, take deep breaths, and trust this 30-second touch. Sometimes they don't go as planned, but that's what those many hours of training do, is they really prepare you for all the good and bad moments. And when the lights are on you, to just trust yourself and handle the pressure.
It'll be a busy weekend here in the America First Event Center. The Southern Utah women's basketball team will be here in the building tomorrow and Monday to face off against the University of Texas at Rio Grande Valley. And the Thunderbird men's basketball team picked up a big victory on the road today against Eastern Washington. So a busy weekend of Thunderbird sports, and it's going to be that way until about May. So we'll keep you updated on all those things through the course of the broadcast. And excited for women's basketball tomorrow right here on Pluto TV Sports.
So we've worked hard in this COVID season. Every athlete is prepared to give it their best. And for $4.17 a month, you can help student athletes in and out of the classroom, on the court, on the field, and in the facility of gymnastics. So help these student athletes out and go to helpsuu.com and donate today.
Madison, how mad are you? You never got to wear these Leos.
I had no idea they were going to do a leotard reveal tonight. They look beautiful on them. I know the McBrides and I, we were just Madison McBride and Megan McBride. They were twins on the team last year. We were just like, what the heck? Like, I didn't know that there was going to be new Leos this year. So now they have two. They've got the white ones, and then they've got this one, and it looks gorgeous on them.
And they debuted those white ones last weekend. And debuting these new black ones tonight. They are awesome. You can head over to SU Gymnastics on social media if you want to see them for the first time tomorrow. That was a lot of fun.
It's special. It's like opening up a Christmas present when you get a new leotard. So these girls have worked hard for it.
Is there anything like a new pair of shoes? You got to break it in a little bit. Is it a little tight night one?
So actually, with new Leos, you like new Leos because the elastic is strong. Everything stays in place. So I know the girls are feeling more confident than ever in these new leotards.
You love it. Love it, love it. All right, we're going to go to vault. We've got Molly Joswakowski, and we're going to have live gymnastics inside the American First Event Center for the first time in 2021. As soon as the judge decides, we can go.
That's always the hard part, is playing that big waiting game. The feet are sweating, the hands are sweaty.
And you just
You're
need
like, just let me salute and run already.
lift the flag. All right,
Yes.
here goes Molly.
That cause entry. Little step from Molly, but overall that was super strong and got the flipper birds going.
One routine down for Southern Utah. Now we'll go to bars for the Air Force Academy Falcons and Ainsley Prince.
Sets up with a nice handstand. Goes into that Maloney, straight into a pack salto. Now normally you can pirouette on top of the bar, but she chose to do a switch grip. Goes into that final handstand, blind full, into a double tuck dismount. Small step forward, but that's not too bad. She can work on that throughout the season to find her feet and get that stick.
So Prinz done for Air Force on bars. Now we'll go back to vault. Steph Trevort ready to go here for Southern Utah in the number 1 spot. And we got a 9.675 for Molly Joswakowski on her opening vault.
The goal for gymnastics is just build on each score. So Stephanie's a junior this year. A little bit short on that landing, but she didn't give up, and hopefully the judges will find her with a good score.
Still haven't seen a score over on bars. There's the replay of Steph right there, brought to you by TDS. And it'll be Heidi Sand up next for the Falcons. She is the lone all-arounder tonight for Air Force.
Like we've said before, competing as an all-around gymnast when you're in college can be difficult. So major props to these athletes that are physically healthy enough and mentally focused enough to go in and contribute for their team on all 4 events.
And we've got a score in for Prinz on that first routine for Air Force. It's going to be a 9.45.
Hopefully Heidi can come in and get the bar team going for the Falcons and get them going on some consistent scoring. A little bit of a short handstand, but beautiful free hip. Goes into that bail. That skill is called a toe hect. Into that last handstand. Blind full. Into a double tuck. Finds her feet. That is the definition of a perfect college stick. Beautiful routine.
Heidi Sand with a beautiful routine there. Now we will go to vault and the senior Thunderbird, Morgan Alfaro.
Morgan is team captain, so she competes for the Flippin' Birds, and she also leads these girls in and out of the gym. So let's see what she does tonight. Wow, that was awesome for Morgan Alfaro. I'm not surprised, Bryson. She does that every single time.
Very consistent. You see the replay there. Steph Trevort given a 9.6 for her vault, so we'll see. Hopefully Morgan can improve on that a little bit there. We'll assume she will, but we'll wait and see what the judges have to say. Next up on bars for Air Force is going to be Grace Bardez.
One thing that's hard for these college athletes right now is due to the COVID-19 pandemic, they're going in and out of testing, making sure they're clear to compete on the floor. So one thing that we have to take into an account is nothing is certain, and just getting the privilege to salute tonight is absolutely amazing. This is great.
Got a score for Heidi Sand, going to be a 9.225, it looks like, for Air Force in that number 2 spot. And now, obviously, as we just said, Grace Bardez up here for the Falcons.
Nice release. Goes into that handstand free hip. Into a bail. Squat on, setting up for a dismount here. Beautiful handstand. Blind full. Step backwards, but not too shabby.
Back to vault now. Carly McLean will let you know Morgan Alfaro got a 9.775 for her vault, so the high of the night so far for Southern Utah. And as you talked about, Madison, in gymnastics, you're just looking to build, and I'm sure that's what Carly McLean's aim is right here.
Exactly, just building on what the last person did. Big vault for Carly, lots of energy tonight. She might be feeding off the crowd, competing at home for the first time this season.
Seeing that TDS replay right there.
These Leos look good on them.
Yes, they do. Tyler Davis up for Air Force, so waiting on a school here for Grace in the number 3 spot, so we'll be a little bit longer here.
There we go. Tyler salutes, getting ready for her bar routine. Board mount up to the high bar. Free hip. Into a Tkachev. Beautiful release. Nice handstand. Into a pack salto. Pirouette on top of the bar. Sets up for this dismount here. Nice handstand. See how she recovers here. I believe she was supposed to do a blind full, so she did a blind half. There we go. Another blind half. Turns over the bar. Goes into a double tuck dismount. It's hard when you're in the moment and the pressure's on you. Mistakes happen. You're not perfect. So she did good, not coming off that bar, keeping her momentum, and just sticking with the routine.
Rachel Smith now up for Southern Utah.
Rachel's a junior this year. She's competed vault since her freshman year. Looks like she rushed that landing just a little bit, trying to go for the stick, which made her do the hop forward. And in college gymnastics, they actually prefer you to do a small step rather than a hop, but Rachel knows that, and I'm sure it'll get all squared out by the next meet.
Rachel Smith there for Southern Utah. Carly McLean got a 9.8, so she was able to improve on the high of the night for Southern Utah. And we will have Lauren Miller now up here for Air Force as soon as we get the score in for Tyler Davis.
And in college gymnastics, you compete 6 girls. You only count 5 scores. So even though Tyler had a little bit of a mishap, the Falcons do not have to count that score as long as the following gymnasts do their job and can swap out that score.
What type of deduction are you looking at for something like that where she didn't come off the apparatus?
I believe it's going to be counted as a fall. The judges know if you're falling out of a skill, whether you're on the ground or not, it's going to be 5/10. So obviously I'm not a judge, but I did gymnastics for 16 years. So nice handstand. Wow, that was a huge Tkachev. Missed that pirouette, trying to turn around on the bar to go into her high to low bar release. But like I said before, she did not come off that bar, and that is super impressive. You could see a lot of fight in these girls.
Oh, wow.
A nice toe front dismount to a stick. That's how you finish a routine when you make a small mistake in the middle of it. That was awesome. Toe front dismounts can be hard, can be a blind landing, but she also did a half turn, so she was able to see her feet, and that's how she was able to stick that.
Caitlin Coe now up for Southern Utah, and that'll wrap up the vault lineup for the T-Birds here.
Caitlin Coe's milking a little bit of a sticky ankle, but she's coming in tonight big for her team and does an amazing Yurchenko fold. That is a seasoned gymnast right there. Just keeps the numbers low during the week and goes out when the lights are on her when it's needed.
Got a 9.675 for Rachel Smith, so we'll see what Caitlin Coe is able to get there. Back on bars, it'll be Cam Barber in the last spot here for Air Force. Expect a pretty good score for Caitlin Coe there.
Yeah, it looked awesome. The only thing about a Yurchenko full is it isn't a 10-0 start value anymore. About a few years back, they changed a Yurchenko full to a lower start value. I believe it's a 995. So not looking for a 10-0 score for Caitlin, obviously, but it's going to be a good one.
Caitlin gets a 9.8. That's what was just flashed on the, I don't know what it's called, the thing that spins around. The spinny thing. That's what we'll call it.
I don't know the name of that either, but we could just call it a score sign, I guess. Blind half into a bail. A little bit short there. The goal is to really hit that handstand so it counts as a higher difficulty element. Blind full on top of the bar into a double tuck, sticks the dismount, and that's what you want in college gymnastics.
We are through the opening rotation here in the America First Event Center. We'll step aside for a few minutes. When we come back, the Thunderbirds will be on bars and the Air Force Falcons will be on vault. You're watching Southern Utah Gymnastics on Pluto TV Sports. Event Center here. We are through one rotation. We'll bring you a score update here, get you ready for the second rotation here at Southern Utah. Bryson Lester and Madison Loomis along here with you. Madison, we'll break down the scores in just a second, but what did you see from the T-Birds on that opening rotation?
Obviously, the Flippin' Birds are capable of scoring higher and getting into that 49 event range, but you know what, improvement can be made from here on out, and there wasn't anything horrible, you know, just the first event, get your nerves out, get going, and now they can go into bars, hopefully breathe in a little bit better.
So let's take a look at the scores here. The high on the event go to Carly McLean and Caitlin Coe, both hitting 9.8s. Then we had a 9.775 for Morgan Alfaro, and a pair of 9.650s from Rachel Smith and Molly Jaws-Wachowski. That'll round out the scoring lineup for Southern Utah on vault. And what about bars? What do we see out of Air Force up on bars here in the first rotation?
So it looks like we have a 945, 9225, 95. Having trouble seeing 9150 and a 90. They're looking at a 46. I think the Falcons will come into vault and hopefully score a little bit higher. But like I said, bars is technically difficult, and also first events can be hard. They're walking into an arena they've never competed at. So kudos to these girls. I think they'll pull through.
About 4 minutes here until we get going on the next event. Team scores through the opening rotation. Air Force with a 46.875, like you said. Southern Utah with a 48.725. 4-minute touch warm-ups have begun. The second rotation here inside the America First Event Center will be brought to you by Zion Harley-Davidson. Zion Harley-Davidson is Southern Utah's only
Thomas is a beautiful bar worker, so she's going to get the team going. And we've got Aubrey Schwartz, she's a freshman this year. Mason Bentley, she's a junior, but first year competing for the Flippin' Birds. Carly McLean, an all-arounder, she's pretty steady Eddie. Hannah Nip is a senior this year. She has beautiful bars, so looking forward to watching her. And Shylin Murakami is going to close us out. She is famous for just being stone cold competitor and sticking everything she does. She's one of a kind, so looks like a good lineup for the Flippin' Birds.
For Air Force on vault, they'll have Chloe Camello, Grace Bardes, Brooke Bruder, Tyler Davis, Heidi Sand, and Natalie Meyer. That's how Air Force will go on vault. So Madison, as you said, for the T-Birds on vault, obviously some good scores. Obviously some of the girls have scored better. How are you feeling about Southern Utah going into this second rotation here?
I think the girls look like they're having fun. They look good in those new Leos, and I think it's just focusing on the little things is the most important. So they did good at the Best of Utah meet in Salt Lake City on bars. There were a few mistakes made, but I mean, we're not perfect, we're human, so look forward to seeing those improvements made tonight.
About 2 minutes here between the 4-minute touch warm-up and getting going here on the second event. Obviously, head coach Scotty Bauman this season celebrating his 30th season here at Southern Utah University. We could insert some old age jokes here, but we'll have plenty of time to do that as the season goes along. Obviously, this will be something we talk about a lot because it's an incredible accomplishment for Scotty. 30 years at one institution is not something that happens in college athletics. And, that's something he should be very proud of.
Absolutely. Scott Bauman is an amazing head coach. He really knows how to coaching women gymnasts and then coaching men's sports. You handle it completely different. So he's really locked in. He knows how to communicate with young women in their college careers and closing out their careers. Gymnastics isn't something that sets you up for like an NFL. Usually these girls are closing out their gymnastics career forever. So he does a good job with adding some icing on the cake, and yeah, he's awesome.
He's also coached here longer than either of us have been alive, so
yeah, that's crazy.
we'll just start getting the jabs in.
When he first started coaching here, he was the same age as his athletes, and I'm just thinking if I was in their shoes handling authority from someone that's my age, I don't know how that would go. He obviously knows what he's talking about, but yeah, it's interesting.
We are 15 seconds away here. We will have Nikki Thomas on bars for Southern Utah, but we will have Chloe Camello up on vault here first for the Air Force Falcons.
For $4.17 a month, you can help SUU student athletes at helpsuu.com. Help the athletes in the gym, out of the gym, and support in different ways.
We are ready to go here. Judges have control of the second event.
Looks like Chloe's getting ready to go here.
Really snappy first rotation. Really no slowdown, no judges conferences.
No, bars was a little bit slow at judging, but vault is so much easier. It's one skill done, where bars you have several skills in a routine. Yurchenko full, little bit of a crunch at the end. Sometimes being patient, waiting to get on the table before you twist is crucial when it comes to Yurchenkos.
Nikki Thomas up here now for Southern Utah on bars.
Nikki is a sophomore this year, but first time this year, or second time competing for the Flippin' Birds. Beautiful pack into a pirouette. As you see, she turns on top of the bar, which is what those judges want. If you wait when you're past the bar, it can be a deduction. Wow, awesome routine for Nikki.
So a strong start for Southern Utah here on bars, seeing the replay of the dismount here for Nikki Thomas.
That is an E dismount. In college gymnastics, you want to end your bar dismounts with either a connection so you get bonus or a solid E dismount. So that was awesome for Nikki.
Got a 9.425 for Chloe to start things off for the Falcons. Now we've got Grace Bardez here in the number 1-2 spot for Air Force.
I can see Grace going through her pre-meet rituals, just getting her head in the game for this vault. Goes in, Yurchenko tuck full. Nice salute, ends the vault.
Got Aubrey Schwartz next up for Southern Utah. Still haven't seen that score from Nikki Thomas. Sure, it's not too far away here.
Aubrey is a freshman this year. She reminds me a lot of Becky, well, it was Becky Roja at the time, but Becky Thomas, her junior and senior year. but she's just got those lengthy lines, so it's cool to see that similarity.
Good reaction for the score popping up for Nikki, so that's got to be good here. Turn it around to be a 9-8.
So she does a switch grip into that Jaeger. There's two ways to get your hand facing the other direction. You can either switch grip or blind half it, so that's cool to see. Blind full into a double tuck, finds her feet and sticks it. That is great improvement from last week. I know Aubrey, when it comes to her dismount, just needs to be patient and trust herself, and that's exactly what she did tonight.
Going to see it again here on the TDS replay. Now we'll go back to Valtbrook Bruder coming up here for Air Force.
That's a big vault. She just did a laid out cause, I believe. That's awesome.
Mason Bentley now up for Southern Utah on bars.
Mason Bentley had a 9-9 as her flippin' bird debut at the Best of Utah meet last weekend, so this is going to be awesome. She just stuck a dismount in warm-up. I have nerves for her. I just care so much about these girls, so this is exciting to watch. She has a mouthpiece in because in high school she had a little bit of a fluke accident on her release move, but since then it's never happened again, but doesn't hurt to wear the mouth guard as precautionary.
Oh.
So what happened is on her raise, she pulled in a little bit, and that just didn't get her that momentum over to that overshoot. I hope her stomach is okay. Falls like that never feel good. Goes into that dismount and sticks the dismount. I know Mason isn't happy about that. I know she wanted to do similar to what she did last weekend, but she's capable of big stuff, so I know she'll turn it around next week.
Had a 9.5 for Bardes, a 9.675 for Bruder, and now we've got Tyler Davis up for Air Force.
Tyler Davis competed bars for the Falcon, and now she's up on vault, so let's see what she does. Yurchenko full and sticks it. That is awesome for Tyler. Good for her. And sticking those vaults early on in the season can be difficult, but sometimes it comes down to just trusting what you do in practice every day.
Carly McLean now up for Southern Utah. SUU's lone all-arounder tonight. Feels like been lone all-arounder for a while. I feel like I've been saying that for a long time.
All around is really hard to compete, and also when you have a team of 23, 24 girls, everyone is specialized in what they do, so breaking those lineups on every single event is difficult when you're essentially, I know that they're all teammates, but they're competing against each other to support and represent SUU.
Gonna have a quick judges conference here on bars. Got to figure out what to do with Mason's score.
Sometimes it's hard when accidents happen like that because they don't know if they should fully count a skill or if they should just take the deduction for a fall. So they're going to have to discuss that.
So it's got to be a lot to remember for these judges. Obviously, they do it for a long time. They're very skilled at what they do, but there's a lot. There's a lot that can happen during the course of a routine. Sure, I'm sure it gets difficult to keep track of.
Yeah, I was actually looking into judging. I'm finishing up an internship with SUU Athletics right now, and I was just thinking, what can I do next to stay involved in gymnastics? And there is a lot to learn. You got to really study for that test. And if you notice, if you watch their eyes, they have to keep their eyes on the gymnast at all time. So they have symbols that they write down, not looking at the paper. So sometimes that takes a lot of hard work to remember what each skill means, and then talking to the other judge and making sure everyone's on the same page. Looks like the Falcons are trying to bring the energy tonight. Sometimes the best time is when you're just on the floor with your team, being goofy and having fun, because those moments are what really means a lot. Obviously, wins matter, but it's just the experience with the journey.
So we're having the judges wrap up here on bars. Carly McLean on deck. She's been patiently waiting.
One thing about Carly is a little bit of this wait time doesn't affect her. You could see she's laughing right now, being goofy, and that's exactly what you want out of a college gymnast, is someone that can handle adversity and just stay loose and calm in the moment.
So we're going to have a 9-1-5 for Mason Bentley, it looks like.
What's hard about Mason's routine is she connects everything. So if one thing is off, unfortunately, it creates a chain reaction. So nothing to worry about on her part, and she'll just work on it next week. Here we go for Carly McLean. Board mount up into a cast handstand. She does a free hip into a ganger release. Huge. Nice handstand there. Down into that low bar transition of a bail to handstand. Nice cast handstand, setting up for this dismount. Carly does a double layout, sticks it, and gets the flippin' birds back rolling where they should be.
Stellar routine there for Carly McLean. We'll see the dismount here again on replay.
You can see she was smiling before she even saluted. She knew it right then and there.
We had a 9-7 for Tyler Davis. Now we got Heidi Sand.
Another Yurchenko full, and landing short like that, it might not look like it, but that hurts your ankles. So happy she didn't go down to her knees, but she was smiling through that one for sure.
You just got to smile through the pain, right?
Yeah, exactly. Fake it till you make it. If there's one thing I learned from gymnastics, it's fake it till you make it.
Hannah Nip on deck for Southern Utah. Looks like it's going to be a 9.825 for Carly McLean. So she will match.
That's awesome for
Schwartz.
McLean, just to get the team rolling again. Consistency is contagious. A fall is contagious as well. So hopefully Hannah Nip just goes into this routine calm and confident. Nice blind half. Huge Jaeger. Hannah's lines are beautiful. Goes into that bail. Toe on, toe hex. That is an upgrade from last weekend. So good for her. Sets up for this dismount here. Double layout. Small step backwards, but beautiful routine for Hannah.
Take a look at Hannah Nip's dismount here. As you said, that small step back. Then we got Natalie Meyer in the 6th spot for the Falcons over on vault.
So it looks like Natalie just did a Yurchenko layout. It was a little bit piked. That's going to be a 9.7 start value if they count it as a layout. So we'll have to see what her score is. But it's better than not having a score at all. So I understand why the Falcons chose to compete that.
Shannon Murakami will be the closer for Southern Utah on bars.
Shylin Murakami is very consistent on bars and on beams, so I'm excited to watch her. Beautiful cast, and holds it at the top. That eagle grip into a Jaeger is very difficult. Sets up for this dismount here. She opens her hips at the top of the handstand. It's awesome. Full out dismount with a salute. Awesome routine.
Shylin Murakami wraps things up for the T-Birds on bars, and that will send us to the 3rd rotation. We'll see her dismount here one more time on the TDS instant replay. And we will send it to break here for a minute. When we get back, the Thunderbirds will be on beam and the Air Force Falcons will be on floor here watching Southern Utah Gymnastics. Into the third rotation, Bryson Lester and Madison Loomis here with you. Southern Utah just wrapped up on bars. Madison, what did we see out of the T-Birds in the second rotation?
So they started off really strong with Nikki Thomas, a little bit of a fluke by Mason Bentley, but they got consistent back on that last half and followed through like they needed to.
And for the Falcons on vault, not some high scores, but a couple good ones. A 9.7 from Tyler Davis was the high for Air Force over on vault.
Yeah, she stuck that ball. It was a very well-deserved score.
Southern Utah now on beam. For Southern Utah, it'll be Shylin Murakami, Rachel Smith, Hannah Nip, Carly McLean, Emma Wisman, and Haley Voltaggio. And as we talked about in the open, Madison, obviously beam, a talking point for Southern Utah. They really struggled at the Best of Utah. You know, it's never easy to open the season in a big arena like that. And, you know, you would have to assume that that was definitely a factor for Southern Utah. Now that they're home in their own environment, kind of safe to assume beam will go a little bit better today.
Yeah, when they competed on the podium, it's important to just slow down your gymnastics because the floor feels more springy, the vault is more bouncy, and same with the beam. So I'm excited to watch the girls tonight.
Giveaways aren't as fun in COVID times. Normally these students would be getting actual pizza. Now they're just getting coupons, but you know, it is what it is.
So even with the pandemic, you can support the Thunderbirds for $4.17 per month at helpsuu.com. Get these athletes going in and out of the classroom. They deserve it, and it's a great way to show your extra support.
Obviously, Madison, we'd be remiss if we didn't talk about this on the Air Force side. These girls are student athletes. They're going to class every day, and they're also preparing to fight for and protect our freedoms here in the United States. And third rotation here will be brought to you by Boulevard Home Furnishings. Boulevard Home can help you create the place where your best memories are going to be made. We offer the area's largest in-stock selection of quality home furnishings at the guaranteed best price. We invite you to shop at Boulevard Home because home is who you are. We talked about it a little bit, Madison. We're excited to see Emma Wisman compete in this beam lineup for Southern Utah. Doesn't get a lot of opportunities to compete here for Southern Utah, so this will be a big routine for her.
Yeah, I'm excited for Emma. She's worked hard. She deserves it. She does beautiful gymnastics, so hopefully she can stay calm and do what she does in practice every day. Haley Voltaggio is also a freshman this year that I see in this beam lineup. She is a powerhouse. She's actually from New York, I believe, so that's or Long Island, one of those, but that's a long way to travel to compete college gymnastics, so I'm excited to watch her as well.
Scotty must have done a good job selling Cedar City to somebody from New York. That seems like quite the culture shift.
I'm telling you, those SUU gymnastics meets or gymnastics camps they do every summer. They weren't able to do it last summer due to COVID, but the coaches do an awesome job making every gymnast feel welcome. I remember when I was in the recruitment process, I had a broken ankle, and Scott took me under his wing, and I swung bars that entire time, but he always had great things to say about me, and he makes you feel special, which I think that's what attracts these athletes to Little Cedar City, Utah.
Just about 30 seconds here. Southern Utah will be going on beam. Shylin Murakami up first, and then we'll head to floor, which means we get to hear new floor music, which is one of my favorite things about gymnastics meets. Love welcoming new teams in and hearing their floor music for the first time.
I'd say my favorite events to watch are bars because I know how technical that can be, but I also enjoy watching floor just because of the performance aspect.
4-minute touch period is up. We are ready to do gymnastics here in Cedar City once again. Shylin Murakami on deck for the T-Birds. As soon as she gets that little green flag from the judge, we're good to go.
Shylin is beautiful to watch on beam. This mount is so impressive and so unique. She's done it. This is now her 3rd year doing it. And every time I watch it, I don't know how she doesn't fall off just in her mount.
I will never get over how much it looks like it hurts.
I mean, she wouldn't do it if it hurt. Wouldn't do it if it hurt her, but yeah, it takes a special technique.
Okay, it would hurt me, Madison. That's
yeah,
it would hurt me.
Probably. Goes into this flick lay, back handspring. That is a triple series. Not as many gymnasts do a triple series. They stick to just a 2 combo. Beautiful ring jump. That is really hard on your body as a college athlete, and she does a great job performing it. Shylin has so much difficulty in this routine that she's actually able to end it pretty quick and sticks her dismount. She did a side aerial into a back full. Awesome routine for Shy.
See the dismount here on the TDS instant replay. Great work by Shylin Murakami. Now we got Brooke Bruder on floor 4's Air Force.
You see that big breath by Brooke. Walks out confident. Uh-oh. Might not be her music, or it started too early.
There we go.
Mistakes like that happen for sure, and sometimes it gets you out of the zone, but if you're a veteran and know how to handle that, hopefully she was able to click back in. Front through into rounded back handspring, double tuck. That is an awesome pass. I know how hard it can be to connect things into that rounded back handspring double tuck, so.
There's always a lot of pressure on the person running the iPod over there on the score stick.
Oh yeah, I feel like that's harder than the floor routine itself. I would be afraid of setting the phone down or having it go on sleep mode. Looks like she's having tons of fun. That's what college gymnastics is all about. In club, you really focus on just getting those skills, but once you get to college, you've been doing a lot of these skills for many years, so you can just work on the performance aspect. That was a Wolf 1.5 as a jump salto just to get some extra bonus. Front lay, front full, saves that ending, and ends her routine, 2-pass routine.
Go back to beam now. Rachel Smith ready to go here for Southern Utah. Got a 9.8 for Shylin Murakami, first routine.
That is a solid start for the Flippin' Birds. Rachel is usually steady Eddie. She had a little bit of a hiccup on her side aerial last weekend, but I have no doubt that she'll nail it this time around. That is a really hard series. That is a round off to a back layout step out. Not a lot of athletes do that, so major props to Rachel. So that's actually what stumped Rachel last weekend. Looks like she didn't come off the beam, so that's improvement, but she doesn't want to grab those legs necessarily. Nice full turn. Sometimes those can be hard. Sets up for a dismount here. She has a round off 1.5. Finds those feet, small hop forward. Not too shabby.
Grace Barda is now up on floor for Air Force.
Looks like Grace got some nucks from her coach, and she's smiling. Looks like she's excited for this floor routine.
Had a 9.625 for Brooke Birder in her floor routine as well, so good start for Air Force there.
Absolutely. All these girls want to do is just, like we said, build on what the last person did. Consistency is contagious, so if these girls can just keep the ball rolling, that's what's going to make big things happen tonight. Looks like a high energy routine. Her team is going crazy right now. Goes into this first pass, double tuck, finds her feet. Awesome opening pass to get the routine started. Leap combo, switch side to a split full, goes into that tuck Shushanova.
Oh, the shoulder brush
Looks
off
like
is
she just
very
wiped
swaggy.
something off. Goes into a front full, front tuck. Looks like she's making eye contact with her teammates. Fun choreography in this routine for sure. Goes up into this last pass. It is a Rudy. Another consistent routine for the Falcons.
Up next on B, we've got Hannah Nip.
Hannah, her freshman year, always had the capability of doing amazing beam routines, but just couldn't quite find her groove. But she had one meet that just clicked for her, and ever since then, she has been totally steady Eddie on beam. And that's what you want, is someone that can just stay calm and do their job in the moment. Front aerial, right into a beat jump. Going into her series here, she does a back handspring step out, layout step out. Beautiful. Hannah really knows where her feet are and just looks so calm and collected up there. Nice full turn. Gets ready to set up for, oh, just kidding. She does a leap series or jumps. Nice gainer dismount for Hannah Nip.
We had a 9.450 for Rachel Smith in the second spot for Southern Utah. Hannah Nip with a clean routine there. We'll wait and see what score she gets. And now we are back to floor for the Air Force Falcons, and we got Natalie Meyer ready to go on floor.
Natalie's been in and out of these lineups decent tonight, so I'm excited to see her floor routine. Looks like the judges are communicating down there.
Uh-oh.
Drops her piece of paper.
So we got a judge conference going on here on floor, so it'll be a minute here before Natalie Meyer gets going. 3 routines done for Southern Utah, 2 done for Air Force, still waiting on that second score. That's our hold up here.
Like we said before, in college gymnastics, there's so many skills that can be done that all have a different start value and difficulty. So these judges, sometimes if something's missed, they need to go talk to each other and make sure the gymnast is being scored fairly.
Had a 9.850 for Hannah Nip, so a really good score there for Hannah. That'll be the high for Southern Utah so far. And now we're going to get going on floor back here with Natalie Meyer.
Looks like a serious routine for Natalie. Sometimes you have fun and spunky routines in gymnastics, and other times you have serious and powerful. Double pike to start off. That was beautiful. Very dynamic dancing. Sometimes, I don't know if the judges find that intimidating or... Second pass is a front layout, front full. Beautiful front layout, front full. Goes into the sleep pass. Switch side, Popa. Sometimes going into these last passes can be hard, so you just gotta stay focused, breathe, and trust yourself. Doesn't look like she hurt herself, but that's definitely not what she wanted to do. She wanted to be on those feet. She's just gonna have to get in the gym and do some extra cardio numbers to make sure that endurance is there.
Carly McLean now up for Southern Utah on B.
McLean's third event tonight. Goes into her series, flick lay, stone cold. Awesome series to start off. Cat leap into a side aerial. Beautiful connection, no wobble. This is an awesome routine so far for Carly. Leap pass is a switch leap, straddle half. Awesome, no wobbles. That's exactly what you want. Just hit after hit after hit. Full turn, controlled beautifully. Birds up, sets up for this 1.5 dismount. Wow, that was an amazing routine. We can expect a huge score from Carly McLean.
Chloe Camello up now for Air Force on floor. Had an 8.9 for Natalie Meyer after she had a fall on her third pass.
Chloe looks like she's a very elegant gymnast. Going into this first pass. Looks like a double pike. Small step forward. Sometimes you have so much energy in the beginning of the routine. You don't know if you should hold up, if you should give it your all. So sometimes that just takes getting used to, and as the season goes on, she'll find her feet. Middle pass, front handspring, front full, front layout. Unfortunately, she fell on that. Looks like she just wasn't quite under her feet to get a good enough bounce into that front layout. And that's always hard when you make a mistake halfway through and you've got to finish off. You're trying to smile for the judges, but it's not ideal. You did not plan on doing that. Looks like she has a coach in her corner, cheering her on, probably saying some cue words for her to remember as she goes into this last pass. Double tuck. Looks like she was just a little bit winded. I know how hard floor routines can be. It's beginning in the season, so hopefully she gets that endurance and can end the season strong.
9.875 for Carly McLean on beam, so some good scores here for Southern Utah after Rachel Smith had a 9.4, and now we've got Emma Wisman up on the beam here for Southern Utah.
I'm not gonna lie, I thought Carly's score was gonna be higher, but we will take it. Emma Wisman hasn't competed a lot, but she has beautiful gymnastics. As you can see, that was a front aerial back handspring. She looks calm up there. Goes into this leap pass, switch leap, split jump. That's unique, very impressive, and it was beautifully done. You really want those 180-degree leaps, so you're avoiding deductions. Nice full turn. cat leap into a front toss to a beat jump. Emma is on tonight. This is a great routine for her. Nice bird before she goes into her dismount. Boom, stuck it. That was amazing for Emma.
Emma Wisman getting another look here at that dismount. Great routine for Southern Utah. Stepping in the last second. She did a phenomenal jump.
I always like those side gainer dismounts. I was always afraid of hitting the side of the beam, but the girls that can do it, like Emma and Hannah Nip, it impresses me every time.
4 down, 2 to go for Air Force here, and now Heidi Sand is up.
So Heidi is starting her routine on a mat with the intention that she's gonna do her tumbling pass, eventually landing on that same mat. So running on and off the mat, sometimes it just doesn't affect gymnasts, and it's not a deduction. So nice double pike routine, or first pass. And now she's going second pass onto this orange mat. Rudy. A lot of these athletes in the beginning of the season, to save their bodies, they put these mats in and they tape them off in the corners, and it's not a deduction. You can pull them out and put them in as long as you are not inside the floor.
Third and final pass coming up here. Sand, the lone all-arounder for Air Force here tonight.
Goes into this last pass. Round off 1.5. Front tuck. I don't know if she had intention of piking that or doing a front layout, but she landed on her feet, and it's better than a fall for sure.
We had a 9.75 for Emma Wisman, so that'll be a career high for her. And now we've got Haley Voltaggio headed up onto the beam for Southern Utah.
Voltaggio is such a dynamic gymnast. I love watching her. She's a powerhouse, and I'm excited to see what she does tonight.
You have to respect putting a freshman in the 6th spot here.
Sometimes the 6th spot is weird because if the people before you did their job, there's no pressure. But if you have mistakes in the beginning of the lineup, you can definitely feel that. So that was a wolf turn. Haley meant to stay down on that right foot, but it looks like she rushed it a little bit and stood up. It's better than a fall, but she will receive deductions for that. Haley has a 3-part series. Back handspring, layout, step out, layout, step out. Beautifully stuck. That is so hard to do under pressure. So goes into this leap. Switch leap, split jump. Back handspring, step out into a 1.5. Small hop, but awesome improvement from last weekend.
TDS instant replay. One more look at that dismount. Now we got Cameo Stapleton to close things out here for Air Force on floor.
First pass, round up back handspring, double pike, finds her feet, awesome. In gymnastics on floor, you are able to take a small step backwards with no deduction. Looks like she stepped forward, so I don't know what that would be, but it was a beautiful double pike. Goes into the second pass, round off half to a front full. Switch side Popa as her lead pass. like she's looking at that student section. Getting ready for this last pass. Goes into a double tuck and finishes strong. You know she was happy about that one.
Three rotations down here in the America First Event Center. Southern Utah headed to floor. Air Force will be headed to beam. We'll take a break. We'll come back on the other side, get you caught up with scores, get you ready for this fourth and final rotation here in the AFEC. So 3 solid scores there for Southern Utah. We're still waiting for one more to roll through. Oh, there it goes. Rachel Smith with a 9.450, Haley Voltaggio with a 9.450, so the T-Birds will have to count one of those here tonight. Madison, what do we see out of the T-Birds up on beam?
Obviously, the girls are capable of more, but it was great improvement from last weekend, and that's all you want to do is you want to be better than the day before. So they're on track for a good season.
Over on floor for Air Force, we had a high of a 9.750. That went to Cameo Stapleton. So some good scores there for the Falcons. Also had a 9.650 for Brooke Bruder. So Air Force on floor. What did you see out of the Air Force? Some fun routines for the Falcons.
Yeah, lots of energy. It looks like some of the girls were just a little bit winded, but like I said, that can be fixed. It's not like you're learning a new skill. That's just getting your body conditioned, and these girls have been in and out of the gym. They don't know if they're competing. So yeah, it's definitely something that the Falcons can build on.
When we went through scores, Emma Wisman's score didn't pop up. I believe she got a 9.750, but it's not listed here. But Emma Wisman did have a pretty good score for Southern Utah on beam as well. Let's take a look now on the floor for Southern Utah.
Yeah, so both Haley and Aubrey are freshmen. Rachel Smith is also new to this floor team. Molly, Carly, and Nip have been in floor lineups before, but the Thunderbirds are definitely starting off their floor with some new competitors, so we'll see how they do. Last weekend at the Best of Utah meet wasn't too shabby, so we'll see what they do tonight.
Over on beam for Air Force, we'll have Brianna Carswell, Elizabeth Shearns, Cameo Stapleton, Heidi Sand, Cam Barber, and Chloe Camello.
One thing about doing floor before beam is you got all your energy out, and sometimes that's what you need for beam. You need to be a little bit tired, so hopefully the Falcons feel calm and steady going into this last event.
Fourth rotation here on Pluto TV Sports, brought to you by Safari Hospitality. Safari Hospitality is a proud sponsor of Southern Utah Athletics. Safari Hospitality has over 22 years in hospitality management with 4 properties right here in Cedar City. Next time you need a staycation, stay at one of the Safari Hospitality properties right here in T-Bird Nation.
For $4.17 a month, you can go to helpsuu.com and help the Thunderbirds in and out of the classroom succeed in their NCAA career.
Just about 2 minutes here. Southern Utah Air Force, Pluto TV Sports will give you a quick team score update. The Air Force Falcons currently sit with a 142.075. Southern Utah has a firm lead here tonight with a 146.525. Obviously, the T-Birds hoping to improve on that team score they got in the Best of Utah meet, on really good pace to do that. But we'll see what kind of score Southern Utah walks away with here tonight.
Yeah, if the girls just stay consistent and do what they do in the gym, they should walk out here improving a lot from last weekend. So,
give you another reminder here that the Thunderbird women's basketball team will be live on Pluto TV tomorrow at 3 p.m. right here in the America First Event Center as they take on the University of Texas at Rio Grande Valley, and then they'll be back at it again on Monday night as they tip off against the same team right here at 6:30. Busy weekend in the America First Event Center. Busy week coming up next week as well, as the Southern Utah women's basketball team will host Weber State on Thursday. The men will host Weber State on Saturday, and volleyball will have their first match of the season on Friday night against Dixie State. So a really busy weekend of Thunderbird athletics this weekend and coming up.
I don't know if if the viewers can see it, but Hannah Nip is sitting on the edge of the floor, and that is just a total Hannah Nip moment. She's one of a kind.
What's going through the mind of Haley Voltaggio right now, about to compete her first floor exercise here at home?
So Haley had a few hiccups on beam, but she stayed on the beam. That was great improvement from last weekend. I think going into floor, Haley's just focused on dialing in on what her corrections are. You can see Jamie Weissong talking to her and calming her down, and at this point you've done all the numbers that you needed, and it's just about trusting it.
So we will head to beam first. It'll be Brianna Carswell first up for the Falcons on the event. She's ready to go up on the apparatus, and we are rolling here in the fourth and final rotation.
Beautiful mount, shows flexibility and grace that a gymnast always wants. So she's going to do a wolf turn, a lot like Haley Voltaggio. That is a double wolf turn. That is very difficult. A lot of elite gymnasts do that. You don't see it much in college, but she performed it very well.
I don't think I've ever seen that.
It's difficult, and sometimes your pinky toe can get caught on the beam in the wrong way, so props to her for doing 2 of those turns. Back handspring, layout step out. She looks like she is just on tonight. Looks like she's really enjoying herself, smiling and performing for those judges. Goes into a tick-tock. That's cool. Shows a lot of flexibility. That's a compulsory skill. When you're in level 5, level 6, you do those things just when you're growing in the sport of gymnastics, but looks beautiful on her. Nice jump series. That jump was difficult because she took her eyes off the beam and actually ended up landing it with no deductions. So backhand spring to a gainer full. Awesome routine to start the Falcons. That was awesome.
A lot of fun there. Now we'll go to floor. Haley Voltaggio ready to go here for Southern Utah. First floor routine here at home. Had her first beam routine just barely.
Front handspring, front full, front layout.
Wasted no time going into that.
No, she just went for it. Looks like the crowd is engaging with her floor routine, and she looks like she's having a lot of fun. Beautiful leaps. That was a complete 180. Hopefully Joey got a good shot of that. Haley has a lot of pizzazz, and this floor routine really shows that. Sets up for the second pass. Does a double tuck. Awesome landing for Haley. Little shimmy. Super fun routine. Jamie Weissong does an amazing job choreographing these routines and totally makes them personalized. Another leap for Haley. Looks like that's how she's going to get her bonus, and she's going to conclude this routine with a bird's up. Nice start for the flippin' birds.
Awesome routine there for the freshman. We'll see her final pass here one more time on the TDS replay. We had a 9.8 for Carswell over on beam. Unless I'm mistaken, that is the highest score of the night so far for Air Force. So a really good start on this event for the Falcons.
Well, it was well deserved. I didn't find much deduction in that routine. And that looks like that's going to be a major connection for Elizabeth. Looks like she's trying to collect herself and go into this series. Unfortunately, she does come off the beam. Sometimes when you're in the moment, it's hard to stay calm and just be confident in yourself. Nice leap. Gets the routine back going. Good smile. Sometimes when you perform and look at the judges, it makes things a little bit better. Goes into this dismount, round off 1.5. Small hop, you could tell she was totally fighting to stick that.
Go back to the floor here for Aubrey Schwartz.
Aubrey is a freshman. She's going into this first pass. Front double, that is extremely difficult. That is an E-pass in college gymnastics, so that's definitely impressive for her to open up that routine with. Awesome leap there, shows lots of flexibility. Looks like the crowd's getting engaged with this one. Lots of energy in this routine for the freshman. Front handspring to a 1.5 back layout step out, and it looks like that's gonna conclude her routine. Awesome for the freshman. Aubrey did awesome. I lied, she's doing a third pass.
We'll let that one
Into
slide.
a Rudy. She is a front twister, you guys. Nice routine. That's going to be a big score.
Take a look at the final pass here that Madison didn't think existed.
Well, she had so much bonus with that front double, and then her middle pass had that connection. I thought she was going to be done.
A really fun routine there.
Definitely.
When that student section is full next year, fingers crossed, knock on wood, that'll be a lot of fun. Cameo Stapleton now up on beam for Air Force.
You were just saying hopefully that student section will be full. The fact that SUU can even have spectators right now is impressive in itself. I know that some other programs just competed it and they just have cutouts of people and it's like an inner squad. So it's awesome that some fans are able to come in and watch tonight. That was a nice series, opening up her beam routine. Beat jump into a switch side. Beautiful jump series. You can hear her team in the background cheering her on as she sets up for this dismount. A gainer, sticks it, awesome routine.
Good showing for the Falcons so far on beam.
Looks
here
like
tonight.
they're beamers for sure.
Yeah. Back to floor for Southern Utah. Rachel Smith now ready to go for the T-Birds.
Rachel competed for her first time on floor last weekend. I believe she got a 9.8, which is an awesome score as a debut. So let's see what the junior does. She's had this routine for quite some time. I actually heard it playing and know the choreography in my head, but first time competing it this year. Goes into this first pass. Round off whip to a double tuck. Finds her feet. She was struggling with that in warm up, so I was excited to see what she was going to do right now. little bit of attitude. Impressive leap into a Shushinova. That is awesome. Looks like all of her teammates are in the corner cheering her on. Sets up a beautiful Rudy. That was awesome for Rachel. Nice routine for Rachel.
3 routines down for Southern Utah. Got a 9.875 and 9.85. And expect a pretty good score there for Rachel Smith. Now we'll go to Heidi Sand for Air Force. She'll be wrapping up her all-around effort right here. Stapleton given a 9.575 for her beam routine.
Opens up her routine with a full turn. You are required to have a turning element in your routine, so the girls either do that wolf turn or a full turn. Back tuck, back tuck. Those are two simple skills, but connecting them under pressure can be very difficult. Pike jump into a straddle 3/4, I believe. Nice routine so far for Heidi. Goes into this dismount, round off, 1.5, small hop forward, but she's gonna be happy with that score.
Molly Jozwakowski on deck for Southern Utah on floor. Haven't seen that score pop up from Rachel Smith yet. I might have just missed it also because it looks like Molly's ready to go here.
Molly has so much difficulty. She also is famous for having every skill in the book. I call it her bag of goodies, and she just picks what skill she wants to compete that meet, so it's impressive. Front double pull to a front tuck. Nice leap for Molly.
As you can see on the scoreboard here, it was a 9.850 for Rachel Smith as well.
A well-deserved score. Looks like Molly is having a lot of fun in this routine and keeping the energy up. Front and back handspring to a double. That is an awesome skill. Looks like Molly's setting up for this last pass. Goes into a Rudy and lands it. Awesome routine for Jozwakowski.
Take another look at this final pass here. Back to beam here, we've got Cam Barber ready to go. Heidi Sand got a 9.775 for her beam routine. So 9.775, 9.8 for Air Force, the two high scores so far.
Goes into this series. Beautifully executed. Those series can be tricky because if you miss the connection, you need to have a plan B or else it's going to be a big chunk out of your score. feet jump. I don't know if she was supposed to land in that direction, but she smiled, kept the routine going. Fake it till you make it, right? Stuck dismount. Awesome routine for Cam Barber.
Back on floor, it was a 9-8 from Molly Joswakowski. And now we got Carly McLean ready to wrap up her all-around effort for the night. She'll be followed by Hannah Nip.
Carly always amazes me. Sometimes she does gymnastics chewing gum, and I know if I ever did that, I felt like I would choke. So she is one of a kind.
That does seem like a risk.
I don't think it should be allowed, but at Best of Utah, I saw her chewing gum on vault, and I just thought to myself, Carly, you are crazy. Goes into this first pass here. A little bit short on that double pike.
Between Carly's gum and the Jolly Ranchers our men's basketball team consumes during their games, you know, our athletic trainers just got to be on their toes at all times for a show.
Absolutely. Goes into this second pass. 1.5 front layout. Nice leap. Looks like she's smiling at some of her teammates. Goes into this last pass. Ends with a D element of a double tuck, perfectly executed. Even though she was a little bit short in the beginning, those last 2 passes were awesome, and it's going to be a consistent score.
Gotta love the mic drop finish on that.
Oh, it's iconic. She did it last year, and I can't think of any way to just keep the tradition going.
Great look at that final pass on the TDS instant replay. Now Chloe Camello ready to go. Final routine of the night for the Falcons. And, you know, Air Force should be pretty proud of what they've done on beam here tonight.
Yeah, they looked really good, and all they have to focus on is just build in each time, and after this meet, focused on the next meet. Lifted that front leg, but stayed on the beam. So her full turn, she actually didn't put her toe to ankle. She kept it down low. That's not a deduction, and there's nothing wrong with this. Just adds something a little different to the routine. Split jump. Stays on the beam. She has beautiful flexibility. Cat leap into a side aerial. Laid out full. That is an awesome connection and good routine for Chloe.
We will head back over to floor now. Hannah Nip ready to go for Southern Utah. Final routine of the evening.
Hannah Nip is known to be awesome on this event and put out some big scores, so we'll see what she does tonight. So this music actually was the same as last year, but I believe her and Jamie went in and they twisted it around somewhere to make it special for her senior season. Nice double pike to start off her routine. Yes, they added something different. Nice middle pass for Hannah Nitt. She had that same choreography in her routine last year. Also put it in her beam routine, so it looks like it's her signature move. Nice double tuck. That is a D pass and great routine for Hannah Nitt.
Take a look at her final pass here on the TDS instant replay.
So you can see that sting mat's in there. That's no deduction. That just helps with her body to keep her healthy for the entire season.
So we're going to take a break here. When we come back on the other side, we'll take a look at some of the replays from tonight's meet, break down some of the best routines of the evening, and then we'll kick it down to the PA announcer for final scores. You're watching Southern Utah Gymnastics live on Pluto TV Sports. As we speak, we can see Kyle hard at work down there, making sure everything is good to go. We've got some key replays queued up in the booth that we will get to here momentarily. Madison, what did we see out of this meet? And we've got the final scores here. We'll make them wait at home. They can wait around a little bit, but what did we see out of the Flippin' Birds here tonight?
The girls made major improvement from last weekend, and that's really all you want to do. These girls have so many meets back-to-back with one bye season, so they're fully capable of more, but tonight was a lot more improvement compared to last weekend.
Wrapping things up on floor, we went to break before Hannah Nipp had been given her final score. She got a 9-9, really impressive performance on floor for Nipp. That was the only 9-9 of the night, so that's going to be the high score for Southern Utah on any event. Just break that one down a little bit for me. What did you see from that one? So
Nipp made it look easy, and that's what judges like. She did 2 D passes, and she did a front handspring, front layout, front full as her middle pass. Great combination. Her leaps are always beautiful, and she just keeps a smile on her face. Her freshman year, Jamie had to teach her to perform, so seeing her as a senior and totally owning the floor and just performing at this level is awesome.
Final score is still being tabulated down at the table. We'll see if Steve Meredith, our PA announcer, is ready or not. Looks like they still might be waiting on a few different things. Let's take a look at some of the replays from tonight's meet. We're going to start with Caitlin Coe on vault here. Madison, what do we see out of Kate on this routine?
So Caitlin's actually had a sticky ankle that she's been making sure she doesn't re-injure so she can last the entire season. But she did a Yurchenko, laid out full, and executed it really well, and she looked really happy.
Caitlin Coe, really impressive routine there. She was given a 9.8 for that. Really good start to the season for her.
Caitlin is capable of more events, but keeping her healthy is key for just maintaining solid throughout the season.
And Steve Meredith's ready to go down on the table. We've got final scores, so we'll kick it down to public address announcer Steve Meredith for those final tabulations.
Finishing in third place with a score of 9.775 from SUU, Morgan Alfaro. And finished tied for first with a score of 9.8 from SUU, Caitlin Coe and Carly McLean. Now the individual results on the uneven parallel bars. Finishing in fourth with a score of 9.8 from SUU, Shailen Murakami. And finished tied for first with a score of 9.825, Carly McLean and Aubrey Schwartz and Hannah Nipp from Southern Utah University. Here are the individual results for the beam. Finishing tied for third with a score of 9.8 from Air Force, Brianna Carswell. Also in third place from SUU, Shilan Murakami. In second place with a score of 9.85 from SUU, Hannah Nip. And finishing in first place with a score of 9.875 from SUU, Carly McLean. Now the individual results on the floor exercise. Finishing tied for third with a score of 9.850 from Southern Utah University, Rachel Smith and Aubrey Schwartz. Finishing in second place with a score of 9.875 from SUU, Haley Voltaggio. And finishing in first place with a score of 9.9, Hannah Nip. Here are the all-around results. Finishing in second place with a score of 38.125 from the Air Force Academy, Heidi Sand. And finishing in first place with a score of 39.275 from SUU, Carly McLean. These are the final results of the meet. Finishing in second place with a final score of 190.450, the Air Force Academy Falcons. And finishing in first place with a final score of 195.8, your Southern Utah University Flippin' Birds.
So there's your final score tonight. Southern Utah with a 195.8, Air Force with a 190.450. Tonight's final score is brought to you by Pallet Bakery. Pallet Bakery located at 255 North Main Street across from Main Street Park. Proud to support the Thunderbirds and the sponsor of our final score here on Pluto TV. We'll take a quick break, come back, wrap up the meet on the other side. You're watching Southern Utah Gymnastics on Pluto TV. Southern Utah with a 195.8, Air Force with a 190.450. Bryson Lesser and Madison Loomis here with you to wrap up the meet. And Madison, a good score for the Thunderbirds, a really good improvement over last week, almost a whole point and a half up from what they scored at the Best of Utah. So if you're Scotty Bauman and the Flippin' Birds, you got to be feeling pretty good about what we just saw.
Oh, yeah. I talked to Scotty on Monday, and he goes, what we did last weekend was in the past, and they were looking forward tonight to redempt themselves, and a 195.8 is a much better score for the Thunderbirds.
We've got some hardware to give away. We've got the Rally Stop Gymnast of the Meet, and tonight's Gymnast of the Meet for her floor routine is none other than Hannah Nip. Came out, crushed a 9.9 on floor, did a really good job for Southern Utah. Gotta love what we saw out of Hannah Nip, and here's a look at her floor routine here.
This was her opening pass with a double pike. Big smile, goes into this second pass. Nicely executed. Her third pass is a double tuck. Finds those feet, big smile for Nip.
So Hannah Nip is our Rally Stop Gymnast of the Meet. Thunderbird fans, Rally Stop has 11 Southern Utah locations, including Bruno's Italian right here in Cedar City. Be sure to stop by to get a fountain drink or gas the next time you pass a Rally Stop. Thank you to Rally Stop for your constant support of Southern Utah athletics. Looking forward, next meet for Southern Utah will be on Friday against Utah State up in Logan. Next time Southern Utah is home, it'll be against Boise State on January 29th. Madison, thank you so much for being here with us tonight. Excited to have you with us all season long. And, yeah, how do you feel your first broadcast went? You feeling good?
Well, thank you guys so much for letting me commentate. I hope I did the girls well. It was weird sitting up here, but I really enjoyed the meet. They did awesome.
Awesome. Well, for the entire production team here at Southern Utah University and Madison Loomis sitting next to me, I'm Bryson Lester signing off from Cedar City. Check back in tomorrow, 3 o'clock, Southern Utah women's basketball against UTRGV. We'll see you then.